Welcome back to Touring the AFC South. I am your host, Mike Patton. And today I want to do a little reminiscing, kind of taking it back, to my past. Some people don't know that past, but I know my guest certainly knows that past. I want to bring in Mr. Alphonso Harvey. What's going on, man?
What's up, my brother?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Man, I'm over here reminiscing on some of them days, but we're going to get to that in a minute. But, one thing I want to do is tell everyone what you're doing now, man. It's very, very impactful. I want a lot of people to hear about it.
You know what? I appreciate that. So I've been in medical equipment for about 10 years. Well, actually about 12 years now, but I run a company called Help to Moms that I formed after basically seeing what my wife went through carrying our son and realizing that she benefited a lot from the things that we offered. So we kind of repackaged a lot of our solutions and made it for moms. So we do the business side, of course, is we're a provider, so breast pumps, supportive equipment for moms. But on our community outreach, because I believe you can do well and good at the same time, we partner with a lot of nonprofits and we do massive. We'll get the people there. They'll give away, the nonprofits will give away massive amounts of free supportive supplies, whether it's diapers, formula, baby cribs. I think today we had an event today and we had strollers, bikes, toys, clothes, all brand new, unused, but just trying to reach the community in our own way. So help to mom is the business, man. That's what I've been doing.
That sounds great. It actually does. And now I will say this. It does. Does it reach nationwide as well?
Well, we can do the events in Tennessee, but we do actually work with military families around the country. We've shipped our products to as far away as the North Pole, literally, because we work with our military families. But yeah, man, we're just trying to do well and good at the same time.
It sounds like you're doing a great thing, man. And, I definitely am proud of you, man. If I hadn't told you, I'm proud of you, man.
I appreciate you. I seen what you've been doing, man.
Just a little something.
Keep me on my toes with my non-biased sports information.
I do what I can, just a little bit. But I want to go back a little bit further than when we first kind of, bumped sports heads. Your playing days. Vanderbilt.
Anchor down.
Yeah.
Anchor down.
Yeah. For those that don't know, my wife is actually a Vanderbilt Commodore as well. So, there's a
connection. That's right. Right.
But man, can you what are some of your best memories from back in your playing days,
man? Beating South Carolina on homecoming. Making the first tackle of the game against LSU when they had Kevin Falk and they were in Nashville and they had embarrassed us the year before. And I went from starting that game to being a backup on scout team because of our performance that game. Wow. To make it back by the end of the season, back starting and then making that first tackle in a 7-6, ended up being a 7-6 ball game that we lost because we couldn't get an extra point, couldn't get 2 points at the end. But yeah, man, I was kind of the highlights, being player of the game against Tennessee and a champion, national championship year for them, having a good game playing D tackle, sacking Tim Couch twice in the same game. I had a good time, man. I had a good time with football.
Definitely sound like you did, man. Sound like you were the party starter out there. Now, I know, it wasn't all parties and things like that. Unfortunately, it wasn't a lot of wins that happened, of course, but, I know there was a lot of lessons learned. What are some of the lessons you could say you learned out there at Vanderbilt, playing on the field and just going to school at Vanderbilt?
So one of the lessons was we may, and I got to make sure Brian be in the background. Yeah, that's my guy. We lost. I won 9 games in 4 years, man. It was a tough time. When I came in, they had won 5 games and had got blasted by Tennessee in that last game. And then I ended up being able to be on the top defense in the conference as a starter. Vanderbilt makes you pay attention to who you are and understand who you are, and it enables you to find your voice. As the kids say nowadays, you find your voice because it's adversity all around you on the football field, in a classroom, having to compete every day in everything you're doing. I mean, which is why I'm really excited about the whole rebranding thing that we did, because finally the university as a whole has said every product that we produce is on this level. We all go by the same trust mark. We all are Vanderbilt. We're all top 15, and if we aren't there right now, we're gonna get there. So I'm all in on it, man. It was a phenomenal experience for me. Just realizing that I had what it took to be successful in these very high stress, high pressure environments. So I mean, man, it was really in my formative years. It was where I needed to be. So forever thankful.
Definitely, man. College years definitely a time where you learn a lot about yourself, learn a lot about your surroundings, and learn about the potential of what you have inside. Definitely. Um, definitely, of course, I've been over there at Vanderbilt a few times, West End, checked out a few games and
Mhm.
everything, by the way. But, I'm going to go off into a little bit other bit of past that some people don't know about, which is the League Sports Talk Show. Man,
Uh,
man, that was so much fun. For those that
yeah,
don't know, we used to be on Saturdays. We used to
yep,
get on there and just cut the fool on the air, do
going for
whatever. Man, that was too much fun. Too
it
much fun.
was.
You remember we had Mike Hill, we had Warren Moon on there. I
Yeah.
mean, just thinking about all the different things we did, man. And then, of course, who can forget the famous conversation we had on T.O. versus Randy Moss?
Oh God. Yeah. That was definitely a thing. That was definitely
Yes.
a thing, man. But that's what we was doing at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I remember you told me, hey, T.O. can do this, this, and this, but Randy, he's got one route and he runs that route good.
Oh yeah.
Real good. I remember
Oh yeah. Randy's Rockets are ready to go.
that. Definitely, definitely. I mean, he never cooled off. But, of course, remember we were talking about the Chris Johnson holdout that time too. And
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
people were mad at Chris Johnson during that time, but people don't understand. You got one shot at most, well, at least maybe some people don't even get that, but you got to go get your money when you got to go get it.
Especially as a running back, man. I mean, we kind of see where the market is now. I think the last running back that got paid was Ezekiel Elliott, maybe.
Yeah,
Somebody.
Ezekiel. You had Ty Gurley. You had
See how we got to go
hey,
back. Gurley out the league.
yep,
Ezekiel Elliott on his last knee.
yep,
This stuff is fleeting,
literally,
man, literally.
yeah,
So, salute to those guys. But you better get what the market demands. I mean, you see guys getting these huge guaranteed deals. I think it's great. The owners wouldn't pay it if they couldn't afford it.
right, exactly. They always can afford it. It's just how are you going to push them to make them afford
Oh, oh yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
Well, speaking of owners and affording it and not wanting to pay it, of course, the Titans did, you know, have an unfortunate loss this off season with Mister AJ Brown. They could come to an agreement on a contract. He gets traded on draft day. He's a Philadelphia Eagle. The Titans draft Treylon Burks. What
And
was
what's
your
he doing? And what's he doing?
what
He's a
was your
mystery
thinking on
man,
that,
right?
man? What's that?
This Burks kid is the mystery guy. They're like, is he at practice? Is he not?
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is. When you don't launch from draft day, 9 times out of 10, you gonna be on the heap in about 2 years. They need to fix that drafting strategy. I'm just saying, man. Because there's been some supreme misses. Titans should have been in the Super Bowl last year. Should have had you know, I mean, I was at that game. It was cold as all get out.
I was there as well.
Yeah, I had to walk across that bridge to get to my ride. That was bad business being outside in that colder weather with these aching knees. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I really, honestly, the Titans should have been in the Super Bowl last season. And I probably said this before, but there are only a few dudes in the NFL, like dudes, like case in point, when Javon Curse was young, he was a dude. You know what I'm saying? We all know Aaron Donald is a dude. And the thing that this is paralysis by analysis, where people go back and they look at last season, like, well, he only had 63 catches. Yeah, but what did he do in the playoffs, bruh? Like this guy was a man amongst boys. He was Debo Samuels without playing running back on the east side of the country. Okay, unstoppable, yak game, crazy, and the Titans said, "Oh, well, we can find it." Man, I watched him play in college. I saw him on the field with DK Metcalf, and he was the dude. He was the dude. He's a dude. AJ Brown is a dude, and Philly, if they get some minuscule quarterback play and find a guy to get them 700-800 yards rushing, man, they're gonna be hard to beat, man.
Yeah,
you got
they will
him.
be.
You got the little guy who's got all the
Devontae
heart,
Smith.
huh?
You got Devontae Smith
with all the heart in the world, all the heart in the world, and then you got AJ Brown that's gonna come drag across that middle, and he's gonna punish D-backs and linebackers. Dude's 230, solid, man. So here we go again, man. I mean, we can't keep the only thing that I really like, I mean, I like them picking up Malik. We know what Tannehill did last season. It was awful. Like, but you also got to call, it's the playoffs. It's first and goal, and you throwing little pop passes out to the flats. Have we not seen what NFL outside linebackers do? They have arms that are long as Elon Musk money. You can't throw them little pop passes, man. You run the ball with Brother Henry. You run the ball. It's cold as all get out, man. You run the ball and you take your chances that way. You got cute. What they go, 100 yards, 90 yards? It was something ridiculous when they picked the ball up. Come on, man. Yeah. That was coaching too. So, I mean, I can't put all on Tannehill. He executed. He did what he worked as instructed. It was a terrible play call, though.
Yeah, well, I hear you there. A lot of Titans fans have some feelings about Ty Downey, and have some feelings that he's coming back next year. But I mean, this upcoming year. But it is what it is. I would say that Treylon Burks, we still don't know what he is yet, but it's still rookie season still ain't happened just yet. But it didn't necessarily start off to the greatest. It didn't get off to the greatest start for him. So
no,
not the greatest,
not at all. And I'm not saying he's a terrible player. I'm saying, success leaves clues. You don't make rookie camp. You hurt now. You're just now getting an NFL workload. And I know he's a big guy, and big guys have big guy issues. But my thing is, and this is honestly because I've been here since the Titans, I was in college when they came here. They played their first games in Nashville at Vanderbilt my senior year. Like, I've been following them forever, man. And they never give rookie baller receivers or anybody really a second contract unless they feel like they get ultimate value, a la, did Vince Young get a second contract?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, Chris Johnson broke that trend. He got a second deal. But generally speaking, Derrick Henry got that. But, he also had 400 carries. And they wonder why. Why is he hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is just a trend with a couple of notable exceptions here recently. But, we let guys get away when they're young. And then we had this habit of buying old receivers. That is, I mean, I remember Carl Pickens coming to Nashville.
I remember that too. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
That was rough.
Yeah.
Yancey
Yeah,
Thigpen.
Yancey.
Let's see.
Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Julio. And my thing is, you want to say Julio's a scapegoat, but Julio was doing what an old receiver does. He was serviceable in the playoffs. He gathered himself and made big plays. But you know what? No, he's not going to be available 17 games. That ain't what they do. They play about 12. And when the lights is on, they're going to give you, if it's with Tom Brady, 4 good ones in a row or 3 good ones in a row and get you a chip. So I don't know, man. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I know we better pay Simmons.
Yeah, that's the next big decision coming up right now. Ooh-wee.
You gave Landry that bread. You don't want Simmons is a dude.
Indeed, he is.
Yeah, he a dude.
He is. Yeah, if they let him get away, it's going to be. I don't think there's much replacing him because you see how long it took for somebody to get here of Simmons' stature.
We got fortunate that he was hurt and he had some concerns about his past. The boy was defending his mom and his sister. He was young. He made a bad choice, but it was his mom and his sister he was defending. All right. The point I'm making there, model citizen, yes sir, no ma'am. Enjoys his time here, loves being in Nashville, right? I live over here close to the facility. I see them guys coming and going a lot. He loves being here. You don't get, and I play D tackle, so I look at being Aaron Donald is just a phenomenal player. Like he's a couple of all-time greats all combined in one. What's his name? The guy John from Minnesota.
Golly, I
You
know
know
you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about. I just can't remember the last name right now.
He's got that motor. He's got Reggie White's strength, and he's got the tenacity of a man, Michael Strahan. Like he's got a lot, but he's 6'1", 6'2", 295. Brother Simmons, 6'3", 6'4", about 315, and nasty. You got a young Ndamukong Suh here. He's a guy that you pay $100+ million, and you lock him in for 7-8 years,
right?
And you go win. You go build the defense around him. You already made a decision with Landry. You drafted both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Might as well keep them.
Yeah.
So what would you say if you had to pick right now what they would look like in terms of win-loss record? Just off the top of your head, what would you throw out there at this point?
Well, I'm a subtract 2 games from their total from last season with the loss of AJ Brown.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll put them at what? I'm trying to think now. I said they had 12 wins last year, so I'd be 10-7. Okay, all right. I can see that. And one thing also I want to say too is, like I can see that. I can also see the Colts being right there, but I think they're still missing a couple things as well.
Yeah, but I mean, who's the Colts quarterback now?
That would be Matt Ryan. So they picked up Matt Ryan, and then they also don't have, but they have Michael Pittman Jr. and they have Jonathan Taylor, but they don't have a receiver opposite. That's what kind of throws me with them.
Oh, is Julio still a free agent?
He is. Yeah, I know. I thought about it too. I've thought about it too. But a friend of mine who is a Colts fan said says Julio gives him Andre Johnson to the Colts vibes, which That ain't a good thing at all. Ugh.
Yeah, that's just connecting that. Julio was good for 65 to 75 yards and making a tough third down catch last year. But let's not act like he had, I don't know, Tom Brady throwing to him.
That's
I will
true.
never forget that our present quarterback was a wide receiver in college.
Texas A&M. Yep.
For a reason.
You got a point.
He's done phenomenally well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bagging on him. But, bro, quarterback, he was a wide receiver.
Yeah. I hear you. Touché. Everyone got a little taste of how we used to do it on the League Sports Talk Show, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, man, this stuff just stays with me. I'm like, come on, man, it makes logical sense. Common sense ain't common, I get it, but I think sometimes you get ahead of yourself. That's why I love Baltimore Ravens, for the simple fact that they know who they are. Pittsburgh Steelers know who they are. They find guys that fit that identity, and then they go win ball games.
Yeah. That's true.
Ain't hard, man.
I hear you. Well, to wrap everything up, I've got a game for you. I've got two choices. You got to pick one. Are you ready?
All right.
I've got Chris Johnson or Derrick Henry.
Oh, in their prime?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be that guy today. CJ 2K, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Well, I gotta make it a little tough on you.
Yeah, man.
Now I'm gonna go Vanderbilt here. We're going linebackers. Chris Marv or Jamie Duncan?
Duncan.
I would say Duncan too, but hey, I ain't know which way you may lean.
First team All-American. Come on, bro. And I played with him. He was man.
Yeah. I remember. Let's see. Titans. We're going Blaine Bishop or Kevin Byard.
Man, I really liked Blaine back in the day, but I'm gonna go Byard, man.
Yeah, Byard seems to be more of the ball hawk. He make more in terms of game-changing plays. In terms of that
he got a second contract too.
Oh yeah, definitely. They couldn't let him get away, and he's a former high school quarterback, by the way. But
safety,
right? All right. Well, I'm gonna bring it up for old time's sake. T.O. or Randy Moss, man? Are you still sticking with Randy Moss on this one?
Hey man. The records is written. The story is in the books. It is Randy Moss. I love T.O., man. T.O. was a fantastic athlete. He was revolutionary at the position, being a big guy that could run really well. He's probably 4'4", 4'9" guy. Had great intermediate quickness, studied his craft. Man, I mean, he gave people fits, played a Super Bowl on one leg. Then there's this guy. It was kind of like an urban legend that ran faster than the clock could time. Some people say he ran a 4.2 at 6'5" plus 215, and it didn't look like he was running, but nobody in his prime could catch him from a good angle. And then when it came to Monday Night Football, legendary. Who gets like 4 catches and 190 yards? 4 TDs. You know what I'm saying? That's Randy Moss. So it's going to be Randy Moss for me, man. It's the Moss for me, bro. It's the Moss.
I'm going to still stick with T.O. I'm going to still stick with T.O.
Hey, man, he had better career numbers. He had better numbers, guy. But in his prime, when Randy Moss got to Tom Brady, he was past his prime. And I think he got 20 TDs that season.
Yeah, he struck a lot of fear in people. That is for sure. All right, last one. Smash Mouth football or air raid?
Man, I played more the Smash Mouth. I'll go. Air Raid is more fun to play against.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
because you got spread out offenses, you got easier edges to get around. Man,
yeah, and let them try to do like a 5-step drop or a flea flicker, and you on that end, and you done snuffed it out, and you already got your dance in your head. What you gonna do after that sack, boy? Woo! Woo, 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 woo. Oh
man,
man, La Tech. I remember going against a 7-foot DN, man. This dude was 7 feet tall. At offensive tackle. Man, I hit that corner, dipped that shoulder. Quarterback did release the ball, but I knocked the hell out of him. Got up. Missy Elliott was doing the you know what I'm saying? I can't stand the rain. I hit the Too much fun, bro.
Man, definitely, man. This was too much fun. Speaking of fun, having you on, man, reminiscing
For
back
sure.
to the League Sports Talk Show days, and man, just talking sports with you, man. I greatly appreciate the time, man. Can you tell everyone where they can find you, where they can find your business,
Oh,
everything, man?
sure. You can find me, man. I do my sports talking on Twitter. MR CEO Harvey, Mr. CEO Harvey on Twitter. You can follow the business at Help to Moms on IG and on Facebook. Help, HELPTOMOMS, or helptomoms.com. Man, this was a pleasure. It was fun, man. I don't get to do this often much.
I
But
know, man. You be so busy, man. Be taking them big boy enterprise deals you got over there, man.
hey, bro, you don't know how deep the water is when you're swimming on top of it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, thank everyone. Thank you everyone for listening and watching. You've been tuned in to Touring the AFC South with your host, Mike Patton. We're out.